Chapter 17. Forests are lifeline. Introduction. A forest is a large area of land covered mainly with trees and other plants. No one grows trees in the natural forests. The natural forests, trees, grow on their own. The forest also has a wide variety of animals. The forest also contains decomposer organisms or microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi. Components of a forest: living organisms and non-living environment. A forest acts as the purifier of air and water. The living organisms in a forest are plants, animals, and decomposers. The non-living environment in a forest consists of soil, water, and air. 1. Plants. The plants are called producers of food. The green plants produce food by photosynthesis by absorbing nutrients and water from soil and carbon dioxide from the air. The green plants are also called autotroph because they make their own food. 2. Animals. A forest also has many animals. The animals are called consumers of food. 3. Decomposers. The microorganisms which break down the dead parts of plants and dead bodies of animals into simple substances such as mineral salts or nutrients, carbon dioxide and water, which can be reused by the plants, are called decomposers. The microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi are decomposers. Why there is no waste in a forest? When the animals die in a forest, they are eaten up by some other animals and birds called scavengers, such as vultures, hyena, crows, etc. The decomposing organisms or bacteria and fungi decompose the dead plant material, dead animals, and animal wastes present in the forest into mineral salts in the form of humus, water, and carbon dioxide, which go into soil and air. Therefore, there is no waste left in a forest. The forest is an ecosystem. An ecosystem is a self-sufficient unit of living things and non-living environment needing only the input of sunlight energy for its functioning. 1. The plants interact with water in soil and water bodies to get water for making food by photosynthesis, and plants also interact with air to obtain carbon dioxide for making food by photosynthesis. Every component of the forest is dependent on other components through various interconnected food chains occurring in it. The first step in every food chain is the plant. The second step in a food chain is always a herbivore or herbivorous animal. The third step in a food chain is always a carnivore or carnivorous animal. 3. The various components of a forest are interdependent on one another. Crowns of trees. The branchy part of a tree above the stem is known as the crown of the tree. The structure of a forest. The 5 layers or zones of a forest vegetation starting from top and going down are 1. Canopy. The uppermost branches and leaves of tall trees which act like a roof over the forest ground is called canopy. 2. Understory. The layer of vegetation in a forest which is just below the canopy is called understory. 3. Shrub layer. The layer of vegetation in a forest which is just below the understory is called shrub layer. 4. Herb layer. The layer of vegetation in the forest which is just below the shrub layer is called the herb layer. 5. Forest floor. The ground surface of forests is called forest floor. The forest floor is also considered a layer of vegetation in the forest structure. The role of decomposers in a forest. Decomposers help in maintaining the supply of nutrients to the trees and other plants in the forest. Importance of forest. 1. Forests provide us many useful products, for example, wood, honey, gum, fruits, spices, oil, natural rubber, cork, medicinal plants. 2. Forests maintain the balance between carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere. The green plants and trees of the forest absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere for the process of food making called photosynthesis. The green plants and trees of the forest release oxygen during the process of food making called photosynthesis. 3. Forests help in maintaining water cycle in nature. Forests bring sufficient rainfall on the earth. The cutting down of forest trees leads to a decrease in rainfall. 4. Forests keep the climate cool. The clouds which form from the water vapor going into the atmosphere through transpiration from forest area help to reflect away some of the sun's rays. They also keep the region comparatively cool and humid. 5. Forests prevent soil erosion. The removal of fertile topsoil from a region by wind, rain or river water is called soil erosion. The roots of trees and plants growing in the forest bind the particles of topsoil and hold the soil firmly. Due to this binding of soil particles, the strong winds and flowing rainwater are not able to carry away the topsoil, and hence the soil erosion is prevented. The cover of trees and many layers of vegetation in the forest soften the effect of heavy rains on soil, due to which the soil does not become loose and hence soil erosion is prevented. The cutting down of forests or deforestation leads to soil erosion. 6. Forests prevent occurrence of floods by holding back rainwater and then releasing it slowly into rivers. The forests prevent the occurrence of floods in the rivers. Forests provide food and shelter to wild animals and birds. Cutting down of forests leads to the loss of many species of animals and birds. The destruction of forests is also leading to the loss of many species of plants from this earth. 8. Forests provide food and shelter to forests-dwelling people. The cutting down of forests or deforestation is driving out a large populations of people who have been living in forests for centuries. Why are forest trees being cut down increasingly? The large-scale cutting down of forest trees is called deforestation. Some of the important reasons for the large-scale cutting down of forest trees: 1. Forests are cut down to obtain firewood. 2. Forests are cut down to obtain timber. 3. Forests are cut down to obtain wood for making paper. 4. Forests are cut down to clear land for cultivation of crops in agriculture. 5. Forests are cut down to clear land for the construction of roads, houses, industries and dams, etc. Effect of destruction of forests. 1. Destruction of forests will lead to a shortage of wood and other forest products. 2. Destruction of forests will disturb the balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere. Due to cutting down of forest trees, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will increase, leading to an increase in Earth's temperature. 3. Destruction of forests will cause soil erosion, making the soil infertile to support crops. 4. Destruction of forests will cause frequent flooding of rivers, leading to loss of life and property. 5. Destruction of forests affect the water cycle, leading to reduction in rainfall. 6. Destruction of forests leads to the extinction of many wild animals and plants. 7. Destruction of forests can change the Earth's climate. Conservation of forests. Some of the ways to conserve forests are given below. 1. Excessive cutting down of forest trees should not be allowed by the government to conserve forests. 2. More trees should be planted in the forest in place of trees that are cut down in order to conserve forests. 3. Paper products such as old newspaper, books and notebooks, etc. should be recycled to conserve forests.